Here we have a SAT math question. Okay, let's go with the information. In a school, there are 40 boys and some girls in a class. All the girls and 32 boys, which together account for 90% of the total number of students, went on a field trip. What is the percentage of girls in the class? Okay, first let me explain the idea behind solving this problem. My first aim is to get the number of girls in the class. So once I get the number of girls in the class, I'll be able to get the total number of students in the class, because already we know that the number of boys in the class 40. So once I get the number of girls, I can add them and I can get the total number of girls in the class. So using the number of girls and total number of students in the class, I can find the percentage of girls in the class. Okay, let me assume let x be the number of girls in the class. Let me write it. Let x be the number of girls in the class. Okay, then total students, let me write it over here. Then the total students equals to number of girls x plus number of boys 40. Okay, now so our aim is to get the value of x, then we can get the total number of students. Okay, so according to the information, all the girls and 32 boys, which together account for 90% of the total students went on a field trip. Okay, now let's find the number of students we went for the trip. All the girls means x positive 32. 32 means the number of boys. So this expression represents the number of students who went on a field trip. So according to the question, the number of students who went on a field trip equals to 90% of the total number of students. That is 90% of the total number of students is x positive 40. Already we got it. Okay, let me write it. Okay, now we have to solve for x in this equation. Okay, x positive 32. And we can write this 90% as a decimal, that is 90 over 100, which results as 0.9. And whenever we have the word of in English, in mathematics, it will be converted to multiplication. 0.9 times x positive 40. Okay, x positive 32 equals to, we can distribute this 0.9 to x and 0.9 to this 40. When I distribute this 0.9 to x, I'm getting 0.9x. When I distribute this 0.9 to 40, that is I have to multiply 0.9 and 40, then I'm getting 36. Okay, now to solve for x, what I need to do is I have to get rid of the variable x on one of the sides, because the variable x appears on both sides of the equation. So to solve for x, we have to get rid of the variable on one of the sides. Okay, let me get rid of the variable on the right side. For that, I have to subtract 0.9x from both sides. When I do so, so 0.9x, I mean positive 0.9x, negative 0.9x will cancel out. This is actually 1x. So when you subtract 0.9x from 1x, we are getting 0.1x positive 32 equals to 36. Okay, let me write the equation over here. That is 0.1x positive 32 equals to 36. Okay, now let me subtract 32 from both sides. When I do so, positive 32, negative 32 will cancel. I'm getting 0.1x equals to 36 negative 32 will become 4. Now to solve for x, I divide both sides by 0.1. When I divide both sides by 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 will cancel. I'm getting x equals to, when I divide this 4 by 0.1, I'm getting 40. Okay, so number of girls in the class, let me write it. Number of girls in the class equals to 40, because x represents the number of girls. Now I got the number of girls in the class. Okay, then what is the total number of students in the class? So for that, we have to plug in x equals to 40 over here. When I plug in x equals to 40 over here, I'm getting 40 positive 40, I'm getting 80. So the total number of students in the class is 80, and in which the number of girls is 40. So clearly, what is the percentage of this 40 in this total 80? Clearly, it's 50%. Otherwise, we can find the required percentage. So we have to find the percentage of girls in the class. For that, we have to write the number of girls in numerator. In denominator, we have to write the total number of students and multiply it by 100%. So 40 goes into 41 times, 40 goes into 80 twice, 2 goes into 2 one times, and 2 goes into 150. So finally we get 50%. So there is 50% of the students in the class are girls. So we find 50% in option C. The correct answer choice for this question is option C.